Okay, so I am back and everyone's going to pile in. As everyone piles in, I am going to go on to our first case. Now, if you join to see this link via YouTube, there's the first 4 minutes where there's a bit of an introduction. There might be an echo with the mic, but hopefully it's bearable. And this is just standard kind of members Patreons hangout. The members on YouTube will have the live streams. Patreons is where we can maybe talk a little bit more sensitively and decoded. Honestly, I don't know the sensitive words, so I just have to be a bit vigilant with that on YouTube. So that's where there's the main difference, and there might be a few more perks on Patreon. So you might decide to go for the, I'm talking about the memberships and the Patreon for the channel. You will see a video where I describe them both, so I don't want to be too repetitive. But I am also then going to test about sharing my screen, and then we're going to get into the topics. Now, if you were a Patreon, which means probably you were a client, you are a client, then you know that we had a Patreon set up via my website, and you all know what happened there. As you know, I got really, really upset. I hope the person gets their karma, because that's all my hard work, and that's all, you know, client reviews and hard work. And it wasn't only, well, some of your, the fitness clients, life clients, the spiritual energy healing. And so I just can't bear to think of that word right now. So there's going to be 2 tiers on YouTube. YouTube will have tier 1, which is Soul with Zain. It's $2.99 for a month. You will get, you'll see all the perks. And then there's the second one, which is the $8.99 per month. And that has all the previous perks, but it also has, live streams for members only, live chats for members only, and there's a couple of other things that I seem to have forgotten. Videos, early release of videos, whereas tier 1 I put occasionally because I wanted that as a tier 2, as a tier 2, but you still get them in tier 1. And you all know that I can be impromptu if Spirit wants me to do a reading. So I'll give a classic example for YouTube so that if anyone's watching this, hopefully I'll be able to put this out on YouTube for subscribers to see, and anyone who lands on it, then you know whether you want to subscribe to the channel, support the channel, like, comment, help it get in the algorithm. And you can do a super thanks, a super sticker for the content you like as well. There's also members only polls on both tier, which is good. It just helps. Now the difference is that the percentage of monetization on Patreon, I believe, there's a bigger percentage that comes towards me as opposed to this platform. This platform, if you are a member of another channel that you follow, they might have informed you that where people think that you do make a lot off the channel. Obviously, I'm just a small channel, so I'm not. But even with the membership, the balance is not even. Some people would say it's not half worth it. And I think if you've got a large channel, it probably isn't. So if you see extremely large channels and they don't have memberships, it's because it's probably not worth it, or they just have a tier 1 membership. But every little thing obviously helps. Tier 1, I mean, I think after the whole monthly deduction, probably won't be able to get a coffee from like one of the main names like Pratt or Costa or wherever I am, Batil or whatever. Even though I just like Americano, it might be somewhere that does it for like £1.20 or something like that. So you can imagine sort of the balance. But you get loyalty badges, and I think they're lovely. I wonder if they give me one as each one's where it's going to be less sensitive, and hopefully there's a bit more of a balance. So you might want to support the channel on YouTube, get your emojis, get your badges, get some early access release to stuff, and then join Patreon as well. Or you might wish to just stay on YouTube and join the full tier of Super Soul with Zain. And I'll go through those perks probably in a video. That's the main difference, is the whole balance between Patreon and YouTube. And I can fully understand it, right? Because you're a platform, and if you imagine all those huge, large channels, there's some channels that are like 700K. So there's a bit of a balance there, and they need to be cautious about it. But it might be good if there was a tier of the number of subscribers or someone's monetized. But let's be but altogether I can definitely get an Americano. If I've got 5 members, put that all together, I can get an Americano. So it's like a buy me a coffee, right? I'm just wondering whether to go through the perks. I'm still working on Patreon. YouTube, I just need to press launch. So I might go through the perks later in the video because I want to get to some of the good stuff. Right, I know that I've got in the chat right now about the US elections and that you only trust my energy check-in, probably because I know crap about politics. And so I remain unbiased in everything I do, but I truly unbiased. The embarrassment. I can see Hardy in the comment. I will be doing a reading on, because the subscribers asked for, when I put this link out, that it was going to be for subscribers only, and then I decided I'm going to do it for Patreons, and then we'll release it. So I was going to release it to members only, but I think it'll be too late by then. But it gives the feel of the Hangout. No, I will pull you a card, my love. I know what you're going through. Anyone else? It's not going to be all free readings. Okay. So, and I'm going to use this deck for you, right? I had you in my mind if you join. A says it's mad when she can feel that someone's not feeling okay. I think some people get a bit scared of that until you understand things, because people can take it as, like, oh my God, you can enter my psyche and stuff like that, but it's nothing to do with that. I think people also misunderstand that, on YouTube, what sells, although I've been working on it for 2 years, obviously a lot of people would like more stories in terms of the crime and looking into that, and probably energy checking in the topics. And so I'm happy to do that. I think what people don't understand is, if I want to cover something that's extremely popular on YouTube, which is what YouTube, so I diverted less from tarot, and it seems to work a lot better. So it's only recently that it's grown a little bit. But you're welcome. When's your energy healing? Oh, Fiona's told me 12 o'clock. So where was I? Yeah, so when it gets, like, for example, the J Slater, I'm happy to discuss it. But when it gets to a certain level, it attracts a certain vibration, and that's what's happening with it. And when I was doing the Sebastian Rogers case, I said, this, I'm not sure I want to do this. The UK Royals was the same. And I diverted from the UK Royals because it did have a lot of low vibrational people or consciousness. And that's what I started to notice on the Jay Slater case. And I noticed it even more on my last Jay Slater, where no one quite, not that no one did, but no one understood what I was saying, which was that if these two want to take you around the bend, thank you, Sarah. So Sarah's just actually said, she said exactly what I said would happen has happened, that they're asking for money for, what's that, the truth or their side of the story? Okay. So puppets on a string, and that's what I was saying. Like I was saying, what do you expect? Actually, if they want to cause a frenzy more than anyone, more than your crime documentary podcasters, they can do by saying, you know, this person was off the head. Wait a minute. If you want to know the story around the knives, I'll tell you what I know, and still look quite genuine about it, but not necessarily, maybe not be so, you know. And you can see that that's actually what happening. But then I had like some comments, and for example, one, I said, then where did I state this? They couldn't answer. When I then put a further comment and I was like, why am I doing this? But I felt like the response will tell me, I still won't get an answer of what they're stating. You know, that I didn't see a Ubers lying and that I'm in the wrong profession. What profession they think I'm in is beyond me, and what profession they're in to judge me is beyond me. But obviously they couldn't answer my question. And then their second comment, which I already knew, I was like, I could feel the energy that there's different levels of consciousness, and this is what I'm always battling on. I don't need someone to tell me. Yes, exactly. I don't need someone. Yes, I did. I said, so what's your opinion? So I don't need someone to tell me people can have opinions, because I'm asking you, what's your opinion? And the whole point of the channel is to try and help you indirectly without them knowing, to raise your vibrational consciousness. But that's why the channel won't go bang viral in terms of subscribers all of a sudden, but you never know God, right? Unless someone's open to understand or see things that then comes up, you know. A lot of like the readings that thank you. You know, time is something. So I can do you a reading, I can probably say within a certain period of time, and most of you can vouch for this, and then it does come through, but it might not be the time you expect it to or want it to. I always believe God is there, and so some people, like, even on the readings, like for example, I can see some people wanting to know who's going to be president. If I don't feel comfortable in predicting that or stating that right now, it might be spirit telling me it's not the time to, or it might be for another reason, which I'm going to explain, because I'm going to do a Trump reading. I've got a subscriber who mentioned when I was doing this live, they'd like Trump to be covered. So I'm going to do Trump reading. I'm going to do one on Kamala, and then I'm also going to do a predictions, world global predictions. Because when I tap into these, I get an open channel of certain predictions that come through, and I've already got a list. So I'd like to state them. I stopped doing it on YouTube, but we've had discussions of that. So that's the memberships, that's the Patreons. If you want to join them once they're set up. Now, who's so the UK is expecting a heat rate. What is all this stabbing, by the way? I actually worry about the current thing that happened with Leeds and then the protest that was in London, I actually worry that this is getting into more of a division, because there's going to be people that are, and this is my 2 cents on it, you're asking, there's going to be people. Yeah, I saw a thumbnail about Manchester. What was that about? Was he really strong or what was it? I haven't seen it, but let me. So the thing with that is, I think we need to see the footage. So maybe on the next one we can see the footage. But remember, police are trained not to go full force in, like, where someone smacks you down the street, you just smack them back. I don't promote violence. Okay. And let's do a disclaimer right now, right? Disclaimer: this is for entertainment purposes only. Please use your own discernment. This is only opinions, my opinion. It's not facts. It's only for entertainment purposes only. And same for all of you commenting. So in terms of that, you're trained not to just go full throttle on someone. But I don't know, I've not seen it, I can't. But I worry about the division and the racism and the riots that are going to come up from what is, I'm not fully aware of the messaging. What I understand is that the Brits want Britain back, and less what, immigrants or less other nationalities. This is where the confusion will happen, and the racism will happen. If you're a different skin color, you look a bit more ethnic, of, let's say, even Mediterranean or something, you could be subject to racism just going down the road. And you might have actually, your parents, your grandparents, and you've been born and raised in England or wherever in the UK, and then you worked all your life, your family have, you've been paying tax, you don't have any, they will say in the US, like felonies or records or anything. But because you look a certain, maybe more ethnic towards something, another culture, or your religion is, or even your name, and then it gets called out, you could be subject to racism. And then if it is about immigration or immigrants, or just feeling out of balance, that certain ethnic groups are always posing the problem. And the problem with that is, for example, I see a lot in England of Asian Muslims, and what happens is called then Islamic extremists or Muslims. And Muslims and Islam can be across many different cultures and countries, and you're clubbing that in because, but look at the repetitive of those people that do it, and even break it down to certain people. Are they from a certain, working class background? Are they from a certain area, etc.? What happens? It becomes clubbed, right? I never see it as opposed to pointing fingers at the nationality, more on the religion. And that's a problem, because people that don't understand and fear mongered and lower conscious levels, just because maybe they're a lot older, or the way they've been brought up, then they have, let's say, in the slightest, they have fear, right? They have fear of that religion or whatever. I mean, look what happened there was that case just recently in America, Sonia Massey, where I think she had a pot of boiling water, and I can't quite see, but she had it, and I think he told her to not lift it or put it down, and she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Now, he went and shot her. Obviously out of order, But I think what he was thinking is that she's not mentally stable. It was clear, right? Because I've seen a bit of footage from the beginning. She took ages to answer the door. She seemed confused. A car that was parked down her driveway, she said wasn't hers. I don't know if they found out it is hers. And so this needed to be dealt with in a sensitive way, right? And he might have thought she's a bit doolally and she plays with like hokey pokey stuff, witchy stuff, right? And so there's no excuse for that. What I'm trying to say is that people get feared from what they've heard as opposed to listen into stuff, right? Jay Slater. Jay Slater was a I'm going to be jumping around basically. Jay Slater, if it wasn't for the people involved, if it wasn't for how he was left on the day he passed, right? Placed in that area, whatever, right? It wouldn't be an accident. If you're taking the final thing, then in terms of science and documentation, it's going to be noted as an accident. Other than that, and people being puppets on a string for Ayub and Rocky, allegedly, I've got nothing more to say on that case. Everything in my readings I've mentioned. And right now, it's just sickening because people are just making things up. People are just bringing everything, pasting it together. The story does not make sense of a full-on accident. You know, he went walking, he went down this or that, he went this way and that way. Even the timeline doesn't make sense. I've not seen one crime podcaster who had put like the time frames, what they originally released against locations. Maybe they have done since my read. I don't mean they copied it, but I didn't until the day I did that impromptu. And that impromptu wasn't impromptu because actually I wanted to put up Alison's reading that I'd done on, was it the 24th? I can't remember. And then I had Caleb's that I kept postponing. Like I said, like they were impromptus. But for example, on the members, Alison's would have been released. As long as I've done the tech side takes a lot of time. But you know, seeing as we're on Alison, I did that read, and I think it was a few hours later, this came up. So let's just test how tech savvy Zain is. And I think I just missed one of the comments. Is his name Fahim or Afhum? So that sounds like it might be an Asian Muslim name. I'm not sure. Well, maybe we'll look at it maybe we'll look at it in terms of because I need to see the footage. The other thing that I want to say is that I have had, you guys know, but I'm saying this for YouTube. I've had friends from across different countries, different religions, and oh, you know what? I want to talk about wokenism, because you guys know that, like, whatever, it doesn't matter the person's nationality or religion, but there's certain things that you know that would apply to me being able to be that person's friend, acquaintance, whatever. So wokeism. Let's write that down. I think this is going to end up being a long one, or we might have to do another one. Yeah, Elon Musk, I heard that. I didn't see the interview. What channel was he interviewed on to say it? It's such a sensitive topic. And I'd like to get your view before I say my view. Charlie, I have to agree with you. I don't know if people are going to understand. but I have to agree with you because I was going to do a reading on Disney, and one of the things I was going to cover is wokeism and this exact point. Would you like that reading on Disney? You know what? I got a couple of snacks before I started and I ate the snack. Does anyone else that used to go to the cinema eat all the snacks before the movie starts? So Alison Chow is and I don't want to talk about it too much because right now, obviously, she might be in foster care. I don't know. Allegedly, disclaimer, entertainment purposes only. I've done my readings. I've kept them there because I think there needs to be justice. The girl needs to be heard, and I'd like it to go in the direction that it should go for this child's protection and this child's voice being heard. It's kind of like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't in that situation. Like, let's put her case aside, right? And normally we probably would be able to touch base on things in put the case aside a moment. So after I did that reading, I said I could feel the anxiety and everything, the hype kind of coming up, and they arrested the father. Okay. So who's watching the ballerina trial, by the way? The Black Swan trial. I've got some stuff to say on that as well. Just looking up for because I saved it. I thought, let me watch it with you. Let me watch it with you. What is this doing right now? Hang on a second. Can you let me know, is the mic kind of okay or is it totally out? Like, I know if you're comparing it to if you're comparing it to like huge podcasting, it's not going to be the best, but is it bearable for the regular lives like this? I know the mic prior was okay, but hang on a sec, let's just put pause. So I'm going to share my screen. This was in hours after I did that reading, but I did that already commented on YouTube. And if it wasn't for the Jay Slater Part 9, it would have been on the next day, the 25th, because I think I'm recalling the dates right. So let's look at this.
Tonight, the father of a 15-year-old girl who went missing for about a week in Monterey Park before she was found safe outside the office of our sister station, ABC 7 in Glendale, been arrested on suspicion of child abduction and other offenses. Police Jeffrey Chow is also suspected of conspiracy and falsifying a police report in connection with the disappearance of his daughter. According to a station security guard, the girl was walking by when a woman recognized her and called police. The arrest comes as Chow and the girl's mother remain in a divorce and child custody battle. The mother was recently awarded full custody.
Hey, Central California, stay up to date with the most important news and
Central California. Okay, what do you think of that? What do you of that? I'm going to get the next one up, but type your comments in. I mean, what would you do? What would you do? I'm not going to be able to reiterate or repeat what you're going to do because, like I said, I want to release this on YouTube. I don't know why this is lacking. It was okay earlier, wasn't it, everyone? Let's see the next video. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Like if you do, right? If you do, there's a problem, and if you don't, there's a problem. So let's get let's share this one, which was the next one that I found. This is obviously 2 days ago now, nearly 2 days ago, like 2 full days. It was just the next day morning I woke up and found this. So what's going to be happening, and what from
like love. I'm like on for enjoyment. I'm winning.
To be the best version of myself. Mental health awareness.
New.
What happened on that fatal day when you shot the doorman? It
Not
erupted.
the right one. Hang on a sec. I shot a nightclub bouncer and escaped 3 prisons. Ooh, interesting. Where is it? I must have clicked something by mistake. Well, the next one I want to look at Sarah Boone. I've got an amazing one for you. Okay, right. It's this one. Again, I have not seen this. Both of them I just put save for us to watch. Let's share. It's quite impressive, isn't it? My first one on this sort of kind of pie. I'm doing okay, aren't I? Let's share that.
That teenage girl who turned up outside of our ABC7 studios after she went missing for a week.
Her father has been arrested on suspicion of child abduction.
Why is it lacking?
And other charges. Eyewitness News reporter Rob is live at the Monterey Park Police Station with this bizarre turn of events today. Rob.
Yeah, another bizarre twist in this missing girl story. Now we're learning about an ugly divorce, a child custody battle, and a child abduction arrest.
Yes, indeed.
On Tuesday, Jeffrey Chow sat at a news conference, teary-eyed, happy that his daughter was found.
We really appreciate what everybody's done and helped out with.
But today, Chow is behind bars. The Monterey Park Police Department announcing they arrested him for child abduction, conspiracy, and falsifying a police report. Investigators say he was behind 15-year-old Allison Chow's disappearance. Allison went missing July 16th, last seen riding her bicycle from her mother's home and headed to her aunt's. And then on Tuesday, a week later, she walked up to our front gate at ABC 7 in Glendale. Glendale police whisked her away. Later that day, Jeffrey Chow and his attorneys held a news conference, one that painted Allison's mother as the reason Allison ran away.
Yes, I think she ran away because she didn't want to be with her mother.
Annie Chow, the girl's mother, today releasing a lengthy statement saying that she's been estranged from Jeffrey for more than a year, and that he drove a wedge between her and her daughter. She writes, "I believe that Jeff coached Allison to make false accusations against me, and he continues to thwart and undermine my relationship with Allison. Before our separation, I had a close, loving relationship with Allison." Jeffrey Chow is being held without bail. He's due in court on Monday.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our.
Okay. So, I wanted to share that. It was hours after that. I can see all your comments, and I think we're kind of aligned. Yeah, you can catch it on YouTube. Exactly. Was it the antelope spirit card? I have not memorized all these cards. So what I'm going to do is actually, while you're discussing that, let's. Okay, why did that turn up? Nunu, we're going to do your quick card pull on. You've not sent your question through. But I'm going to try and guess what it is, okay? So I don't have all my decks with me. And if I don't have it right, you can just say, okay? So everyone, hold tight. Let's see what we get on this. After this, we need to discuss. I've got an opportunity for you. You might not have this opportunity again. Right, let's just get grounded. So this is for Noha. Just so that I don't mix up your name. Okay. Cindy, yes, my love. So if you drop me an email, Fiona will get back to you. You've got all the prices, haven't you? Because it's all listed. But you can then see when you want to book it. Let me know if I've got the right topic, Noha, or type it in for me. And then if you wanted the follow-up read. Okay, so it's about either your friends, and it could be people at work, but I'm sensing that is it around your friends, your community, people around you? Your friends, okay. Was it about a particular night out or just in general? I feel like you're feeling isolated, or you're out of something's going on and you're feeling you're not being told everything, or you. Okay. Let's do the animal one, and then if you want a follow-up reading or a full read, you can do. I'm thirsty. 1 second. Shall we take a break in a moment, and we'll come back and do the Sarah Boone? Okay. This is for Nunu. I haven't asked the question, but I love these cards, so I like to look at it. Look how beautiful that card is, like emerald green. Emerald green. What's your favorite color? Hey, Francis. No, you're okay. You can watch a repeat. I've got a 3 that I flipped over like that, but I want to split. Okay, so split the deck. So what you need to be aware of in this situation is probably for a beginner mind. Okay, let me just get another card for a moment. I'm told to take this card for you. Free yourself of it. Free yourself of it. Don't pay attention to it. And I think it ties in exactly with the beginner mind, you know. Free yourself of these thoughts, free yourself of it. And with this beginner's mind, what I really feel you need to do is actually think of, as opposed to what you're thinking in terms of them thinking of you or whatever position you're in, you need to think of, if everything's going hunky-dory and perfect, are these still my people? And if your answer is, I don't know why I'm getting this, I feel it, okay. If your answer is, no, not really, you won't have the answer right now, okay. You need to sit with that because you need to differentiate. You're not going to get the answer right away. You need to differentiate. Sorry, but I just feel that. You need to differentiate between feeling that you're not going to have the same people or people that you gel with again. And I think that is a fear that's causing you to be a bit more paranoid about the situation. I'm not saying the situation is nasty or whatever it's making you feel. Whatever you feel is valid. But it's time for you to free yourself of it. Whether it then settles in and you feel like these are my people and I am, you know, I've got a new thought process on this. I am no longer attached to it. So if this happens again, I'm fine. Or you sit and say, actually, and this is just an example, I've known these people for so long, but it's not like before. And I thought, because I know these people for so long, that I should stick around. This might actually be spirit giving you that chance to exit without you having to feel guilty. And you can always be in people's lives with boundaries. For example, if you used to meet up every Wednesday, maybe now you're like, I can't make it this Wednesday. Or if you used to meet up Wednesday and Fridays, I can't make the Wednesday, I'm coming out on Friday though, and be all excited about it. I'm getting energy moving through me, so I know I'm hitting the point. Is that helped, Nunu? What is wrong with No today? Do you know what No reminds me of? Do you know that black and white chubby? It's a No, right? It's called a No. It's not a penguin. It's not a parrot kind of thing. I'm sure it's called a No. Number 6 could be significant on this for you, and the number 12. But the number 12 for me is tying in that, when I break it down, it's tying in that it's to do with, you know, your friends and your circle. I'm glad that's helped. Okay. See, that was really, really quick. Take that as your advice and next steps. You're going to be good. And who needs that week can hang out with us? Okay. Let's look at Sarah Boone. So Sarah Boone has been in prison for 4 years. Can you imagine? It's February 2020 that she has been up. Disclaimer, entertainment purposes only. Has been accused and probably going to be found guilty of exing her boyfriend by putting him in a suitcase. I cannot watch that video because you actually, oh, it makes me cringe. You can actually hear him starting to not be able to breathe and the suitcase is moving, like he's trying to breathe and he's trying to move. What on earth? I think, you know, there's LSDs and substances, especially there is alcohol, but DRUGs. Okay. Yeah, I get the revenge. I did a cover on it on YouTube. Who watched the Black Dahlia? I've just seen your message. Did you enjoy it? I think I did that read last year, so I want to release it to members on YouTube. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like, I always forget it and then I remember it, and I've been waiting for the memberships. Probably going to do a pick a card as well. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. Is there? So that kind of validates it, doesn't it? Nunu, tell them to F off. Come out, hang out with us. We'll do an extra live just for you, just for Nunu. Nunu in the house. So she's been in prison for 4 years. That means she'll get that time taken off her if she gets convicted and goes to jail. And she's due for trial in October. Is that right? Can anyone confirm? Yeah. And she has been through 8 lawyers, you know, 8th girlfriend. There's something wrong there, isn't there? Let's just be honest. So, and that's just a hypothetical meaning. I'm not saying she is, but it's a hypothetical kind of example. You know, you don't say other people are wrong. You're kind of like, oh, I need to take a look in the mirror. But here, I've got some news here, and I've got an opportunity for some of you. You won't get this opportunity. Yes, you're absolutely right. Did you see it? Do you know, I did a reading for her, and at the time, I'm just trying to call it. Okay, so at the time, I could see the 8 of Pentacles, and all I could see was her in her cell, trying to put documents together. But then I was like, she won't have ink or paper. I forgot the prison aspect thing of it. So I was like, how are they going to make the ink that they'd maybe make tattoos from? And she's trying to do things on the wall or stuff and get things together. Obviously, what I was seeing is also this kind of, this is what we're going to go through. Your opportunity. Honestly, I don't think there's any law qualification required. Let's check this out so that you know what I'm talking about if you've not seen it. I've not seen this full clip, but I was just made aware that she had created this. So let's get into it, everyone.
In Florida, the suitcase murder trial for Sarah Boone. The defendant appeared in court yesterday and was very upset that
Why is it lacking?
she didn't get more warning about the hearing.
4 years later, and
she's representing herself now after she went through 8 separate attorneys. She was also not happy that a news crew from the local Fox station found out about the hearing before she did.
If we have to set a hearing, you'll be properly noticed for it.
And the certificate of service.
You'll be properly noticed for it, yes, ma'am.
And will there be a proper notice for today?
Notice was performed last night. I've
Am
already
I allowed to
explained.
ask the news crews how they got here?
No, ma'am, I'm not going to let you do that. They're not under oath. They're not a party to this action right now.
It's wrong and it's unfair.
You're certainly entitled to that opinion.
Sarah Boone has advertised for a new attorney. She concocted this flyer and wanted it posted at the courthouse. She's accused of killing her boyfriend, Jorge Torres, who died after being locked inside a suitcase, a case we've been watching for a very long time. It's a horrifying case because there's video of Jorge in the suitcase, and she is communicating with him. He's saying, I can't breathe, cheating on me, and then would later submit an effective voice.
Cheating on me.
With him,
say,
he's saying,
like,
I can't
my name, no
Jorge in the suitcase, and she. It's a case we've been watching for a very long time.
Let's just look at this. You got your pen and paper and CV ready, guys?
Inside a suitcase, a case we've been locked inside a suitcase.
I don't know why it's lacking.
Killing her boyfriend, Jorge Torres.
Let's look at it, right? Looking for a prosperous challenge ready for your close-up on national television. See, in my reading, I was saying about her wanting the attention, gonna like the attention. She knows it's gonna go down. I don't know why this is lacking and it's doing my head in. Anyway, show the world who you are with your original creativity, extraordinary expertise, and confident ingenuity. Sarah. Sarah's like, I'm cracking up. Have you not seen it? Not Sarah Boone. Oh my God. Your qualifications, listen to this. Your qualifications, this might be your only time. Like, you don't need to have the main lawyer expertise. Your qualifications come as secondary. Qualifications must include being trustworthy, honest, passion-driven, open-minded, exceptional problem-solving skills. What, not a surprise, client inclusion at all times, team orientation, collaboration, because that was one of the main things she was moaning about, right? The thing is, the lawyer knows what needs to be included. Dedication, success, possessing a winning mindset. That is a bit of a strange word, possessing. What do you think about that? Can someone tell me, do you feel that's a bit strange or not? I feel it's a bit strange and it's telling of this case. Anyone else? Let me know while I keep going. Capability of excellence in representation. Why have they not like, let's see if I can get the full thing. Got their banner at the bottom there. Out for you. I did say she wrote to the judge. So the judge was like, I want to write you a letter, or I've wrote you a letter. And then she goes on, the judge is like, all I needed to know was that. She wrote the judge a long letter. She must have done. It's not coming up. So let's continue watching. But at the end, it says about, oh, look, Sarah Boone, inmate, and her